name is Bryant Haynes, and I've come out here to sing you a couple of short songs. And in the process, I want to tell you a story. This is the year of the story, and this is a story about how I got started playing the guitar. So this story really starts in my father's generation. My father is the oldest of 4 children. I also am the oldest of 4 children. When my father was 3 years old, my Uncle Steve was born. And when my father was 6 years old, my Aunt Joan was born. And then when my father was about 12 years old, my Uncle David was born. And David is really kind of the center of this story. I just adored my Uncle David. He was the youngest of his generation, and I was the oldest of my generation, so we were the closest in age. And he would take me and my brother, and we would do all sorts of fun things together. My uncle was not the most academically talented of students, and he played the guitar. He was actually involved in a rock and roll band in West Tennessee, where we grew up, called the Jades. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that before, probably not. But anyway, there was a time when it looked like he wouldn't graduate from high school. And so he came to live with my family. At that time, my father was practicing medicine in Mississippi, and so we didn't live in the same town that David lived in. I was about 3 years old. My brother was about 2, he's a year younger than I am. And some of my earliest memories was of David with his guitar. He would give me the pick, and he would let me strum on the strings, and he would make chords with his hands. And so the first song I'd like to sing you is one of the earliest songs that I ever remember hearing. It goes like this. Well, I'm walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. An ocean liner came and took her away. I didn't mean to treat her bad. She's the best girl I ever had. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Well, I ain't got a nickel and I ain't got a lousy dime. If she don't come back, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. If she don't come back to stay, it's gonna be a rainy day. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Thank you very much. Well, Uncle David did graduate from high school, and eventually he went to work for my grandfather in my grandfather's real estate business. He bought himself a new car. It was a white Volvo. Oh, I remember that car. We would go riding around in it. We would pretend that the car was an airplane, and Uncle David behind the driver's seat was the pilot. And I was sitting in the passenger seat over there. I was the co-pilot, and my brother sitting in the back seat was the navigator. There's one afternoon I remember in particular where he picked us up. He said, "Boys, we're going to do something special." And we went. He had bought some balsa wood airplanes, and we assembled those airplanes, and we flew them the rest of the afternoon to my grandfather's farm. But then something tragic happened. When I was in the 2nd grade, I remember by this time we had moved back. My father had moved back from Mississippi to Tennessee, and we were living in the same area. I remember early one Sunday morning, my grandmother and grandfather came to our house, and they brought us the news that the night before, David had been killed in a car accident. He was only 22 years old. And I don't think I've ever seen my grandfather cry so much. It was a really hard time for all of us. David's funeral was the first funeral I ever remember attending. But something else special happened on that day. On that day, my grandfather brought me this very guitar. It was one of David's guitars. And he said, "Bryant, I want to teach you how to play the guitar." And he put the guitar in my lap, and he took his big hand, and he put my little hand in his big hand, and he taught me 3 chords. He taught me C, and he taught me F, and he taught me an easy way to play the G7. I didn't think I was going to do this. And this is the first song that I ever learned to play on the guitar. It goes like this. You get a line, I'll get a pole, I need. You get a line, I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line, I'll get a pole. We'll go fishing in a crawdad hole, I need. Babe, you're mine. Now, I've got some story on my tail, so you might want to keep the clapping down a little bit. Now, the way I play it now and the way I played it when I was in the 2nd grade aren't alike. So when I was in the 2nd grade, it went like this. Yonder comes a man out across the field, honey. Yonder comes a man out across the field, babe. Yonder comes a man out across the field, stirring up dust with his automobile, honey, baby, you're mine. But when I got older, it's hard for me to sing in that key, so I decided to change the keys. So now I play it in a different key. Get up, Sal, you done slept too late, honey. Get up, Sal, you done slept too late, babe. Get up, Sal, you done slept too late. Crawdad man done past your gate, honey, baby, you're mine. Whenever I sing this song, I think about my grandfather and my Uncle David. Yonder comes a man with a sack on his back, honey. Yonder comes a man with a sack on his back, babe. Yonder comes a man with a sack on his back. More crawdads than he can pack, honey, babe, you're mine. And now this guitar spends most of its time at my dad's cabin in West Tennessee. He brought it over special for me to be able to tell you the story. But when we go over on holidays, sometimes I pull it out. And I have a lot of memories wash over me when that happens. What you gonna do when the lake goes dry, honey? What you gonna do when the lake goes dry, babe? What you gonna do when the lake goes dry? Sit on the bank, watch crawdads die, honey, babe, you're mine. Thank you very much. That's the story of how I got started playing the guitar.